Well, hello geometers and seekers of general truths. In this video, I would like to walk us through some of the common problems or some of the more challenging problems in this unit, particularly involving inscribed quadrilaterals. And one fact that is very helpful is that whenever we have a quadrilateral inscribed inside of a circle, the opposite angles have to be supplementary, so they have to add up to 180 degrees. And that's going to be the guiding fact that we're going to use for the remainder of these sorts of problems. Okay, so let's get right to it. In number 21, I see that this angle is 110, right? And the angle that's opposite of that is 5x, and these have to be supplementary. So I know that 5x plus 110 must be equal to 180. Subtract 110 from both sides, I get 70 divided by 2, and x must be equal to 14. Okay, similarly, 2y and 104 have to be equal to 180. So subtract 104 from both sides, we get 2y is equal to 76. And then we can divide both sides by 2, and this will give us 38. All right. And so that's how we approach these sorts of questions. Number 22, I'm going to give you the solution, but I'm going to ask you to work through it on your own and just check your answers with mine. I'm going to go on and explain a little bit about numbers 23 and 24 because they use the same principles as 21 and 22, but with a little bit of a wrinkle. So here, the same things still apply, right? That 4x, this angle and this angle here are supplementary. But the wrinkle or the challenge here is that we don't know the measure of angle A. So we have to use some other methods. And one tool that's going to help us here is these arcs, right? So if you look at this arc BC is 152 and arc DC is 80. So together this gives us an arc of 232 degrees. All right, so I know that the measure of arc BCD is equal to 80 plus 152, that's 232 degrees. And what that tells me then is that the measure of angle A, right, or angle DAB, notice how angle A is inscribed in the circle and it intercepts that arc. So the measure of angle DAB must be equal to 1/2 this arc. Okay. So this gives us 116 degrees. And from there, we can use the opposite angles here to help us figure out the variables. So we can say that then 4x plus 116 is equal to 180. Subtract 116 from both sides, that gives me 64. And then divide both sides by 4, and that tells me that x is equal to 16. Okay. And we can use a similar approach to help us figure out the measure of angle. Let's see here. Sorry, I'm trying to get my coloring here in order. So we can use that same approach to help us figure out the measure of angle B, which will then help us find y. So we notice here, this blue region that I'm coloring here, 84 and 80, that gives us 164. So we do know then that the measure of arc CDA is equal to 84 plus 80, or 164. And what that means, and let me switch up the coloring scheme here, that means that angle B, which intercepts that arc, must be half of that. So this gives me 82. And then I know that 7y plus 82 must be equal to 180. Subtract 82 from both sides and we get 98. And then divide both sides by 7 and we get 14. So x is equal to 16 and y is equal to 14 in this particular problem. And so along the same lines, I will give you the answer to number 23. I'll post it for you. However, I'd like you to work out the details on your own. It is a similar process to what we've done here. As always, keep working hard. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.